Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Juby here with Mossy Jaw Custom Baits. I'm out here in the bait barn on a humid, hot Sunday. Just got through pouring some worms. It's that time of year, that summer, when those fish are supposed to be getting out offshore into that deeper water. You throw that big Texas rig worm. Took my grandson out a few weeks ago when the fish were just starting to get out offshore. He kept telling me that his line was twisting. And we were using just a poured worm that I have, not this particular cut, this is a red bug, but we were using a plum worm, and that's just round, segmented obviously, okay? And I noticed, because I had showed him, take your hook and how to Texas rig a worm. And I noticed he had the hook opposite the way the U-tail was going. You see the U is going this direction. I'm going to point with my top hand here. The U is going that way, and he had his hook this way. That was causing some line twist. So I made it easy on him. We were using plum, that was a color, so I had a package of Zoom plum worms, and Zoom, they do a little engineering. They make a flat side, engineered by design, so the hook can go through there, through the flat side, and then be skin hooked on the top, okay? When you Texas rig it. Takes out the line twist, it's engineered like that. You got a round worm that does not have a flat side like that where this one doesn't, okay? Then all you're gonna do, check, see which direction. My U is going this way again. I'm using my top hand. So I'm going to take my 5/0 hook. This happens just to be a 4/0 hook. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to go down to the middle of it. And okay, my U is going this direction. Okay, I'm going to come out the opposite side. And then I'm going to spin my hook around. Okay? And as I spin it around, now my hook is going in the same direction as the U. Okay, there's the hook point. And you see the curve there on the hook. Obviously then, and I got to spin this around for my sake, I would poke it through, right through the middle, come out, and then I would skin hook it there. Now my line twist is going to be gone, okay? Don't care what weight you use. I use 7/16 ounce, half ounce, depending on the depth that I'm fishing and then the fall rate that I want. But this is going to take out my line twist. If the U was going, and I'm going to pardon my middle finger here, but if the U was going that direction, I would get a lot of line twist on my line. I have to sit there and let it unspin, and that just takes up time. And if you're a tournament fisherman, if you're a bass fisherman, you want all the time you can with your bait in the water. That's where it's supposed to be. It's not going to get bit if it's not in the water. Okay? So that's just a elementary tip to help you guys out. I've seen adults do that. They don't even they just grab a worm and they just Texas rig it. And then they're sitting there with line twist. Again, Zoom, and no knock on Zoom, they dummify, they make theirs simple, okay, for us weirdos, okay. But if you don't have a mold, I have an AI mold. I believe my 10-inch worm mold's an AI mold, and the body is more kind of like the man's jelly worm, I guess, and then a Zoom tail, if you will. But it's a 10-inch worm, and I would call that a U-tail. Some people would call it a ribbon tail. It just makes a U, but that's the direction you want your hook going. Takes out the line twist, takes out frustration, and it'll help you, especially if you've got a young child that you're taking fishing with you and they're throwing a worm. I hope this helps. Again, this is Mike Juby with Mossy Jaw Custom Baits. You guys hit that like button, hit that share button, throw out a few comments. I appreciate y'all.